So I have a random question for you. When we got you on the schedule, Jared over here, he was like, "Oh, we're getting Chris Hansen."
Oh, here we go.
And then I was like, "I don't think it's the Chris Hansen you're thinking of."
Spray good, baby.
What up, everyone, and welcome to episode 21 of the Spread Good podcast. My name is Brodi and Nick, back with Mr. Celebrate Life himself. How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great, feeling motivated because we've got Chris Hansen in the studio today, personal trainer, MMA fighter. What's up, brother?
How you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm fired up. Didn't get my workout in this morning, but I'm so fired up because we're going to get it later. We already talked about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're a fighter. You're the first fighter we've had on the pod. Pretty excited. I know you got a fight coming up. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
But how about you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you in the game?
Well, what got me into fighting?
Yeah.
I was 21 when I took my first fight. I actually had a union job. I was making about 6 figures building custom staircases. I ended up getting my, what is called an ex-wife now, pregnant. Throughout the pregnancy, I didn't go to college. I mean, I was in and out. Didn't really finish some general ed. So I just thought about a career. I didn't want to do construction. So my brother's a pro fighter. We've been a wrestler since we were kids. Kind of just falls into the line of the sport. He started fighting right out of high school. I used to go to his fights. I would support. So I decided to ask him to get me a fight or help just to see what it was like. So I trained for 3 months, not much, just at a park. I had a wrestling background. Took one fight at the age of 21. I got choked out in 56 seconds. It was the worst because I was a wrestler. I shot him with my neck up and he just choked me out. But it was the most fun I've ever had. And I guess I did something because I got an invite to a private show. Boss Rutan's put on a show. And he had all the red corners. So I was fighting against Boss Rutan's team. I got an invite to that show. And only a few fighters got an invite. So at the flyweight division, I was able to get an invite 7 days later after that first fight. So I took a second fight 7 days later and I won. After really no training experience besides wrestling. I won against a really good UFC legend.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Boss Rutan.
You fought him.
I fought against his team.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and his team, I just remember he was holding pads for that fighter, and I hear this 12 punch, pop, 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 in the hallway. I'm I got scared for that fight. So I used my wrestling. I got 7 takedowns in 3 rounds, and I ended up getting a unanimous decision. And it was the best feeling that I've had in a very, very long time from when we went to CIF in high school wrestling. That was the same feeling. So I instantly got hooked. And so I decided to go to the gym, started training. And from there, I kind of had my calling.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. And those were amateur fights, right?
Yes,
so
amateurs.
So how did that work going from amateur to pro? Is there some type of thing you have to do? Or
you actually get a choice. You get to choose when you go pro.
Oh, okay.
You just kind of have to be careful. And a lot of good shows, if you're not a good amateur fighter, they won't book you. But there's other shows that will, like Indian reservation fights. That's where I'm fighting at, just to build a career before you go to a TV show. I went to a show called Cali Cage Wars, which it was on Indian Res, but it was a legit one. I waited till I did 10 MMA fights and 1 Muay Thai amateur fight. I had 11 fights as an amateur and I went pro. I went pro at 135 and the guy I fought was 6'1". I was never again am I gonna fight at 135. So I went down to 125. That guy was, and I was beating him, but because of his length, I remember in my pro debut, I had him in a choke and I was choking him, but his arm was so long, he was able to reach around and choke me before I got him. And I wasn't even mad. I remember being stoked for him because I was that was an insane choke. That was dope. It was called a Dart stroke. I
Yeah.
just didn't even see it coming.
That's what's up, man. So you
Yeah.
really respect the sport like that too. You know?
I've lost a lot of amateur fights because I would fight every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Like, and that's not something you should do.
Yeah.
And win or lose, I would just keep fighting and keep fighting. I just like doing it. I don't, why? I really don't. It's like the thrill.
Absolutely. And I know you have a daughter, right?
Yes.
Does she come to your fights?
She's came to a lot of them. Yes. Not all of them.
Okay.
But yes.
Okay. What's that like for her being there?
Well, first few fights, I had one fight I got knocked out. So that wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the only fight I ever got knocked out.
How old is your daughter?
She's 9.
9.
She's
Nice.
turning 10. Going on
she-
15.
Yeah, my daughter's 4. I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. My 4-year-old is almost like a teenager already.
Dude,
kinda-
wait till she's 6. It's
Yeah.
insane. The jump is insane.
I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah,
but
it's insane.
does your daughter inspire you every time you're in the ring?
She's the reason why, yes.
Yeah.
And she does Muay Thai herself.
Oh,
And
nice.
she does
sick.
jiu-jitsu. She did wrestling. And she's probably the main reason why I do it.
When did you start her on that?
Well, I've been a coach, so like as early as my other coaches would allow me to. She was in and out of the mats at 3.
Oh, wow.
Some jiu-jitsu coaches or like gyms will allow young kids if they're like credible in teaching young kids. Some 7 because they don't have patience.
Right. Right.
Because
Does
it is
she-
a lot.
Yeah. How does she like it?
At first, it was more of the social thing. She wasn't listening. She just was trying to play.
Yeah.
So she's been in and out. I'd bring her to fights. It's recently now where she's starting to like brag about dad being a fighter and then learning. And I took her to one of my trainings like a few weeks ago. And I blasted some Thai music and I just hit in the bag and I caught her videoing herself. She made herself with like a little like video on the bag and then she was like influenced by me. It was pretty dope.
That's
so
a
I
cool
realized
feeling.
she's starting to understand more.
Yeah.
And now that
That's
she's
awesome.
understanding, she wants to actually get back into it. So
Nice.
it
Take
makes
it.
me kind of like want to do a little bit better now.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And has she ever competed before?
Never competed in
Okay,
a martial
cool.
art now.
Cool. Wow. That's exciting, man. That's exciting. And how did your name come about? The Sinister.
The Sinister. So I was a little troublemaker in high school because I was a small dude. I didn't grow up in the nicest area. I call it the hood. And I was a wrestler. So I used that a lot to try to fight because
Yeah.
I didn't like getting punched. But I also, like I do now, I enjoyed fighting. My group of friends, I guess there's, to go into detail quick, there was this group of guys that were harassing this girl. And I found that as a good reason to go over, and I was really excited for it. And I guess I was trying to take on 5 dudes at once. And when they were all accepted it, I told my friend to hold my folder because I had a binder, and I had this evil smile on my face. And she said, "You look very sinister right now, Chris. We probably should walk away." And I did not because I went over and I did business to all of them.
Damn.
It's because it was her that they were actually grabbing her and stuff. So it was a big deal to me, but it also was an enjoyment kind of thing. So from there, that was my nickname with her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool. I like that story.
Yeah.
I
That's
like-
dope.
yeah. The Sinister.
It kind of just stuck with everybody. And then I just ended up with it. And then I used to graffiti too. So after that, I kind of stuck to that name.
Nice.
All right, man, we might have to have you graffiti this wall over here.
It's been a long time, but I probably still could.
No, that's cool, man. And so have you fought in different promotions then? I know you got a fight on the 4th. Have you ever fought with this promotion before?
I just fought for them twice
Okay,
last year.
cool. So you have some
I did
experience with
MMA and I did a K1 kickboxing fight for them.
Okay.
So this would be a Muay Thai fight. So it would be like my 3rd kind of fight for the
Awesome.
same promotion.
Awesome. And when's that going down?
That one's November 4th.
Okay. And where is it at?
Valley Center. It's in San Diego in the Indian Reses.
Nice, man. And so have you fought at that venue as well?
Oh yeah, my pro debut, Cali Cage Wars. I fought like 4 or 5 times for them, and they were at that same venue. And then they moved to Arkansas. So then my promotion Gladiator Challenge took that same venue. So I've been fighting at that same spot since my first pro fight.
That's sick. That's sick. Have you been over there, Nick?
Valley?
It's by Harris Casino.
Oh, yeah. I think I've driven past it. But
Yeah. It's a really nice drive.
Nice, man.
Indian reserves are beautiful.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And so, do you do a camp every time you have a fight?
Have to.
Yeah, you just go
I don't
for it.
just float it.
For sure, for sure. And was there anything different you did this camp?
Yes. Last year I took a fight against a Brazilian. He was a 20-year black belt. So he was a black belt for 20 years.
Yeah.
Nuts.
If I won, it was going to be a title fight because it was the number one contender spot. I take good fights and I take easy fights. That fight, I was coming back off of a broken leg. So I was trying to test myself to see where I was at. For some reason, I lost that fight. Not bad. It was a TKO loss, but I got stuck. He got my back. He put hooks on me, and I tried to bump. And for some reason, he just felt like he was 200 pounds. And I was just stuck. I was like, damn, his black belt, it took in. But I didn't realize, I guess his wife was a nutritionist or something. And he looked like he was on the deathbed at weigh-ins. And then he looked like an evil monster on the fight. And I was like, I've never had that.
Yeah.
Because I can cut weight easy and put it back on. I guess that man cut like almost 30 pounds and then put like almost all of that back on the next day. So the way I cut weight was not that. And I was very light. And I didn't put any weight back on the next day. So he was 30 pounds heavier than me during that fight. And that was a pro MMA fight. And so for this camp, I decided to take a big break. I haven't fought in a year. And that transformation picture you guys are going to talk about.
Yeah, we'll roll it right here. Crazy.
It was the reason why I decided to take a fight, because that's what I was trying to do. I needed to mass gain. I needed to put on some weight. So when I do go cut, I sit a lot heavier than these 145ers.
For sure, for sure. And what goes into a camp like that? Because I've witnessed a lot of cutting camps, right? But you've like bulked up during this one. So
I had to take a break from training.
Okay, so you really did you just eat? They're like, what?
Man,
lift heavy? Like,
you guys want to talk about diet? Like, it was good and bad. I had to lift so heavy with mass reps, and with that is calorie intake. And if I can't do that clean, I had to be some kind of bulk. And I would do it cleanish, put it in and out, get a 4x3 or a 4x4 with no salt on the meat. And then a double inside.
Nice.
I know we're going to lunch now.
Fun.
That was meal one. When it opened at 11 o'clock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
So, and then I would meal prep and salad after that. And then if I got hungry after that and I couldn't get my calories or push too hard, I'd have to do like another like burger. I love pizza, I love donuts, and I love burgers. That's my go-to for calories.
Nice.
And so you got to eat all that stuff during camp.
Yeah.
I've never heard anything like that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should be
I
fighters.
call it the
That's what we
trainer
do every
diet,
day.
you know?
So how much were you trying to gain in that time?
I was actually trying to get to 170.
How much do you weigh right now?
I got to 165 before I took the fight. So I was almost there.
And what are you going to fight at?
145.
Oh, wow.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So you got another 15 pounds to go because you're at 159 right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
In less than a month? Like
3 weeks. Yeah. That's a lot. If I water load, so I'm doing a lot, like almost. So every 2 days I do 2 gallons. So you can actually like overhydrate, and I have no problem hydrating. So like I will overhydrate if I have to. So every 2 days I do 2 gallons or a little bit more than 2 gallons. So when you water load, I'm sitting heavy on water. So when I go to put a sauna suit on and I go to like cut my water, it'll be at least 15 pounds.
Wow. Okay. Because I drink a gallon a day.
Try 2 gallons every 2 days.
I'm going to try it.
It's actually not that easy because then you take the next day just peeing it all out.
Right.
So there's no way you can do 2 gallons every day.
Yeah. Well,
there's people that do, but they're usually sitting over 200 pounds.
For sure. And I notice when we drink a lot of water, like 'cause sometimes we'll go like a gallon and a half. And then let's say we're just traveling the next day or busy. I get dehydrated so easy, I feel like, which is like, I thought the healthier you are, I feel like I should go 4 days without water, but it's like, no, I need more water because I'm used to.
So it keeps your body needing to keep hydrating. So you need to keep drinking water. And then now you have no problem drinking water.
How much water do you drink, Nick?
I don't even know. I don't keep track of any of this stuff, but it's interesting to me. Like, where did you learn all of this? Did you learn it in wrestling in high school or after?
wrestlers, they do different kind of cuts.
Yeah.
And sometimes those coaches, what we go through in high school is mean. I do not recommend a wrestling diet, wrestling cut. I don't recommend that to anybody, especially at a young age. But yes, most of it I learned through my sports, the cutting wise. The diet part I learned through training because you plateau a lot. I was a thin dude for a long time. And in order to do that, your protein needs to be high. And if you're not tracking protein and you think you just eat whatever you want, it's not going to work.
Yeah, no, it's tough because I feel like even for me, it's like, it's hard for me to gain mass when I want to have abs.
Yeah.
So like,
you have to have one or the other.
Yeah. Well, but you're doing kind of both, or is that because you just built your body for so long?
I've had abs since I was probably 12. And that's just because I was a wrestler. And I was cutting for years and years and years. And I don't know if you understand how many abs in wrestling and Muay Thai that they do. Have you ever seen a Muay Thai fighter? Have you ever seen a wrestler and just look at their figure?
Yeah.
The reason why. The conditioning to both of those is insane. So anybody that wants abs, you got to do thousands and thousands of reps or a lot of cardio.
Yeah. Or both. But so with that being said, then an average person is going to lose a lot of mass, right? So you have
that's
abs.
Why I said it comes with both.
Right.
So usually, like even look at a bodybuilder. He usually don't even see his abs until he cuts.
Yeah.
So he's putting on all that muscle mass because you can build abs, but nobody bulks their abs.
Right.
Everybody cuts their abs.
Yeah, with the whole abs and cutting, that's kind of what got me to think of you for being on this podcast. Is I've known you for a few months now, but that transformation, bro, is nuts.
That was 56 days. What I did was I hired a bodybuilding coach at my gym. So outside the camp, I do personal training. I have a lot of clients at my other gym. That's where I make most of my money.
Gotcha.
It's just more private. I do post about it, but they pay to get results, right? And that gym is a bodybuilding gym. I just use it as a strength base for my clients to either lose weight, to get stronger, or to build if they want. I also use it for myself. I train with the owner, and I train with this young dude. He was 25 years old, and he just competed. He's a big dude. His name's Charles. Yeah. I just wanted to test him out. I've been a trainer for a while. This guy's young. I'm like, what does this guy know that I don't? And just in one session, it wasn't even the training. It was the knowledge that this man had at his age. I was like, it's insane. And the session, our first day was legs, bro.
Yeah.
And we talked and did slow reps. He talked about why we're doing slow reps.
Oh.
And then the pump that I got was never like, and that's exactly what he said. You're never going to get a pump like you felt before. And he was right. So he sold me. So I was training with him for a while and got on his meal plan, his workout regimen. And within 2 months, I didn't even notice it because I still don't even feel it like everybody else sees it. It was my crew. And everyone at my gym kept calling me Buff. I was like, you guys don't even know what buff is like unless you go to my other gym. I don't even like that word because I'm not buff. So that night, I decided to do a late night workout, and I decided to ask one of my friends to take a picture. Let me just take a picture because I sent Charles a before picture, but I didn't send him anything else after. And then I put the two together, and I impressed myself. And I don't ever impress myself, like ever. I looked at him, I'm like, oh.
It worked.
I don't look buff, but dang, I see why people are saying it. Like my shoulders were like, phew.
Yeah, man. No,
my back just, I was like, ooh.
Blow up for sure. It's
I got stoked.
Yeah, 100%. And with that, you've been training heavy with this trainer and at that gym, but then you're also training the fighting stuff.
So I was actually going to get ready to compete for a bodybuilding show. I want to do a physique show.
Cool.
When I gained that kind of weight, I wanted to do a show before I got a fight. And then I got offered this fight that didn't go through, but it got me really excited because it was a good fight. And even though it didn't happen, it made me want to take a fight. And then I thought about it. I'm like, you should see the size that I put on. If I were to do a cut right now, it would actually be perfect. So I tested it out. I went to train. And to be honest, I didn't gas out like I did before. Now my lungs, bro, from the muscle, this is what I've been working on in camp because I can't catch my breath after every round. I can still go with everybody as hard and as fast as I want, and then I'm just trying to catch my breath.
Gassed.
Usually my muscles would fatigue fast, not my lungs. But now, like, I'm in good shape. It's just carrying that kind of weight. I need to build the conditioning to it. So I'm gonna have to lose a little bit of muscle,
Yeah.
just a little bit, in order to take this fight, because it's been months. I can't catch my breath.
Right. And with that being said, so after this fight, are you gonna hop into bodybuilding then? Or
Immediately, yeah. So because of that transformation, not only did both my gyms talk about it, but I guess, I don't know, everybody started talking about it.
yeah.
And I had a few people that are in the bodybuilding world tell me I could do like a 6-week prep. Like multiple people. And I'm like, 6 weeks? Usually I thought it was like a 20-week.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look, I will be doing like what's called novice. It would be like the first bodybuilder, your first competition, you always go through novice. And I was starting to watch all the competitions, and I look at all the competitors in novice. And they look like lifeguards. Not all of them looked super ripped, right? They're just trying it out for the first time. And it's a lot of them. So there's a big chance that I might actually do decent, because I do carry a lot of definition for myself. I might not be big, but for physique and novice, I don't have to show my legs, right? So that's where I was just doing a lot of upper body, working my abs.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can at least go somewhere with trying to do Muay Thai and bodybuilding. That's what I want to like retire on.
Okay. Both those things.
Yeah.
So do you see yourself going to like a UFC or a Bellator, or you kind of like a different style?
So the thing is, I get asked that all the time. And the UFC is really open about how they pay fighters. And if you look at the UFC pay bracket, and then if you go and you look at, there's a promotion called Lights Out. There's this guy named Sean. He was a football player that puts on now an MMA show. And his pay is also decent. The pay difference between his show locally in LA and the UFC's pay is only about $2 or $3 grand, maybe a little bit more than that. And to train my whole life for a $2 or $3 grand difference, I couldn't find myself to do. If they come knocking, I will always say yes to a fight like that. But to put my life on it, there's so much other things out there. Boxers get paid way more than UFC fighters.
Yeah.
I love Muay Thai, so eventually I was trying to dip into boxing, but all these dang promoters don't like MMA fighters, so they try to make us stepping stones.
Yeah.
Give us their title fighters and stuff. Like,
right. So what do you think about what Jake Paul's doing with this whole boxing thing? And
I thought that dude was a joke for a good minute, and he is fighting jokes. Like that Nate Diaz fight was terrible. Like it was so bad. McGregor put up a better fight against Mayweather. It was just so bad. Woodley, I don't know what he was doing. I know he does. He is dipping into the boxing ring, and he's dipping into the world. But then Jake Paul, he's not bad. He's not taking good fights. Now, this talk of Canelo, I want to see that, because I think Canelo's going to put it on. There's no way Jake Paul's going to beat Canelo. And I will tell you this, if Jake Paul beats Canelo, then that dude's the real deal.
Yeah.
He's doing some real stuff.
I'm kind of with you on that. I actually thought he was a joke for the first 2-3 fights. I also think he's very strategic in the way he picks his opponents. Like the reality is,
that's
like
boxers. That's me.
100%.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go try to fight Jake Paul today. Like, I'll be honest. Like, you know what I mean? I think there's levels to the game, and I think he's leveled it up perfectly. Like even the way he lost to Tommy, it was a fight. You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you think about what Jake Paul's doing?
I mean, I think he's getting the money, and I respect that. Get the money that you can get, fight whoever you think you could beat. But yeah, I don't think he should. I mean, he should fight Canelo because I want to see that. But
he needs to dip into the actual boxing contender list. Yeah, not fight these celebrities.
The names, he's just fighting names.
He needs to dip into the real fighters.
Yeah,
go into the real promotions, man.
Yeah, but with that being said, the reason I brought him up is, isn't he bringing a lot of light to UFC paying shit to their fighters?
Well, it started with McGregor, though. Really,
yeah,
that's where it really started. It wasn't really so much Jake Paul, but Jake Paul comes from money anyway, so he's a Disney dude.
Have you watched his that show on Netflix?
Oh, I haven't watched.
No, I haven't. No.
I watched it. It's
Did you?
Pretty good,
Is
man.
it good?
It's pretty good. It kind of talks about how he kind of just talked so much shit to get into where he's at now, and he just manifested it all.
That's most fighters though. Yeah.
For sure. I mean, you got to be a show.
But like, look at even McGregor, how much stuff he would talk. I would always watch this, and then anytime he'd beat someone, watch what he would do after that.
Mm-hmm.
It was never a line of disrespect.
Yeah.
It was always just show.
Mm-hmm.
That's always what it is. Like that Khabib stuff. That was so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just for show.
Nutty stuff.
They do that stuff. That we're fighters. We're crazy.
For sure. And with that, who's a fighter that you've been influenced by or inspired by?
McGregor. Yeah. I'm Irish, bro. That's just, he's I'm a lefty too.
Okay.
So most people don't realize this. He's now a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He has been a brown belt for years. He also does a Brazilian martial art called capoeira. That's where most of his crazy spinning kicks come from. So he does a lot. He boxes, it's Muay Thai. So McGregor's actually well-rounded, more than most people would think. It's just his attitude. It's what people don't like, and I get it.
He's actually what got me into MMA. Honestly,
McGregor,
I never really watched it until McGregor started coming up.
There's so many. So every fighter has a bad fight. There's so many good. Chuck Liddell was great, right? I hated Tito Ortiz's attitude, but he was great, right? Rampage, he was a beast. Vanderlei Silva, he was a beast. I really don't have a favorite fighter. Everyone has a different style.
Mm-hmm.
I fight Thai, and I don't have a Thai style. I don't even know what it is. I come from an MMA wrestling background, trying to go into Thai. It's just I could do it, and even like coaches say, like awkward styles will beat Thai fighters.
Mm-hmm.
And my first Thai fight as an amateur, he was half Thai, and he was really good. He had like 14 fights. I didn't realize I talked to him recently. It was his retirement fight. He used me on his way out.
Oh shit!
I was like, no wonder you went ham, dude. I almost got knocked out with elbows, but because I had an awkward style, he couldn't really do much. I lasted 3 rounds. I lost to a decision, and that's what got me into Muay Thai. I'm like, that was a fun fight. I went 3 rounds with a Thai fighter. Yeah.
So you like Muay Thai because it's just more fun?
When I learned the actual martial art, it's beast. Elbows, the vicious elbows to the face, flying knees to the face. Yeah. You can't.
Yeah. You love fighting.
Yeah.
No, dude, I see it. I feel it.
Yeah.
Like you really fucking love just fighting.
I used to be really afraid to get hit, like in high school. That's why I told you I used to wrestle a lot. And then I realized that it fills me with fire. Like the second I get punched, any man gets punched, you turn into someone different.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad, you turn into someone different. And what I can turn into when someone gets hit, like it's more of an enjoyment now.
Mm-hmm. Dude, that's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire. I got to get to that point because I too was a wrestler in high school.
Oh, nice.
But now we've been just talking shit on social media, trying to get a fight for me. So I've been
He's trying
out.
to fight someone for charity.
Yeah,
so
so I've been trying.
if you know anyone,
We've been
you can fight.
calling out these like bigger influencers. We've already gotten 2 written denies. So you know who you are. I said I put $100,000 on it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, like because I feel like I don't have 1 million followers, but put the money up. Like this will help some kids, you know.
Right.
But nobody has taken the fight yet. But yeah, I'm kind of on that same vibe, dude. I'm just like I'm out here just trying to have a good time. I love fighting. I'm not a fan of many things because I'm so busy doing what we do. But I'm a fan of MMA, dude. Like I said, watching McGregor do that and do what he did, and I got into all these other fighters and seeing the art behind not just the fighting, but the promotions and the storytelling. Like
going from what MMA started to what it is now, the growth behind it, and then seeing what boxing started as, and then what it is now.
Well, boxing, especially the last 2 years,
It's been such a joke.
Yeah, it's wild, dude.
There's no good fights.
Yeah.
Like maybe like Canelo, the best fight that I've seen was Canelo and Triple G.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the last really, really good fight that I feel like I saw.
Yeah.
Did you watch that Ryan Garcia Tank Davis?
No, I did not watch that.
Okay.
fight.
Have you watched?
I'm a big fan of Ryan Garcia.
Okay.
That kid is insane.
Yeah.
But Tank Davis, though.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is actually.
He's the one that beat Ryan Garcia.
Okay.
This year.
The only one?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the first loss.
I didn't know he lost.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch
He beat him
that.
pretty bad.
He beat him pretty bad. Too.
Knockout?
Well, to the body.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It was because he, okay.
Yeah.
I gotta see that.
But But Tank, who's he got up next? You know?
I don't know. He's
But is that
talking
guy
shit on-
undefeated too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 undefeated. They went at it.
Yeah, they went at it. It was a big deal because Ryan Garcia talks a lot of shit, social media
Yes, he
influencer,
does.
and Tank is. I mean, he's got millions of followers too, but he's more about just the grit. I think he's from the hood, right?
Yeah.
And he just
Oh, you can see you can't mess with the
you
hood.
can't,
Nope.
dude. So you
Can't
have
It's
like
always in
this
there.
pretty boy, you know, like YouTube Gymshark guy, and then you got Tank Davis, and he knocked the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I told you, besides Mayweather and Khabib, especially in MMA, you don't see an undefeated fighter.
Yeah.
Everybody has
It's
their
hard to
days.
protect the zero. It's
It
hard.
really is.
Yeah.
Mayweather pick and choose who he fought to keep his zeros.
Yeah. Still does.
Yeah, but so does Khabib.
Yeah.
So does, I mean,
Yeah.
Khabib's earned his stripes, I feel like.
For sure.
I still think he shouldn't have retired so early.
Yeah.
He retired so early.
I know. Well, because of his dad, right?
He could have kicked back, man.
For sure. But yeah, so for you, like, are you strategic with your fights? You kind of just fight anybody, right?
I like to know who I'm fighting so I can break them down.
Right.
I had a strong feeling that if I didn't keep it standing, that Brazilian was going to beat me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was okay with that. It's just name of the game.
How it is.
I'm not a 20-year black belt in jiu-jitsu, bro. I'm not even a 20-year black belt in Muay Thai. I just like fighting and I knew my striking's decent to be able to stand up with him.
Damn. So with that being said, aside from being an MMA fighter, you're also a trainer, and that's how we met.
Yes.
Because you train Katie
Yes.
at the camp, right?
Yes.
So, dude, she gets up at 4:30 every
5
morning
a.m.
to go hang out with this guy.
I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Sometimes just by herself. Too.
I know. Sometimes she'll be like, it was
Oh,
just me and
really?
Chris today.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So you guys, no matter if one person shows up or 50, you guys just run the class either
Still
way.
run the class.
So what is it about the camp that you like?
Well, I've worked at a couple locations now. One was bigger. Obviously, Brady's a little smaller.
Yeah.
But it's more of the growth that I've seen. Because like you said, not every trainer is going to be good at the camp. There's so many locations. The camp probably is one of the only boot camps that have as many locations as they do.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you see not that many good trainers. There's just so many. They gotta find people to run classes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to train them to be able to be good. So everyone starts somewhere, and the camp's actually a good place to start. It's also a good place to finish.
Yeah.
Brea's only been open for a year. Now, when I started in Anaheim, and I came and there was already beasts there. So my classes were easy to run. Eventually, like it's boring. Right.
Yeah.
I go to Brea, and they couldn't even lift. They couldn't even deadlift a 30-pound easy bar.
Yep.
Okay, now they're deadlifting over 135 pounds. And it's been a struggle, and it's stressful sometimes. It's irritating. Sometimes people don't listen. But since I've been there in February till now, I don't know, you've seen everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I created beasts.
Yep.
I'd rather create them than train them.
Yep. No, Katie loves going. So I think we're going to catch the 5 p.m. tonight.
Oh, it's a
So-
good one. This week I had to change it up on everybody.
Okay. So what's on the plan?
So it's more of a timer based.
Okay.
And you'll switch back and forth between two moves, but it's just the way you put two moves together.
Got you. And with that being said, what's the camp? I know we kind of talked off camera. You're able to kind of do your own thing, but it's
They have
like the
their
curriculum.
split
or-
is just upper body, lower body, full body, upper body, lower body, full body. That's
Cool.
how they do it throughout the week, 6 days a week.
Nice.
How you do that upper body, that's what they let you do. And a lot of new trainers, they'll do like just a minute on, switch, minute on, switch, minute on, switch. Sometimes they may change the time. But I've done so many different kind of formats throughout the years, throughout the gyms that I've trained at, that I put every gym that I've ever worked at in my classes.
That's badass.
So what do you like about training? Do you like training a beginner and then seeing them progress, or like what is your favorite part about training?
I feel like the reason why I do like that part of the training is because I saw it in myself. I started at a certain level and I've seen a progression in myself, and being able to teach that to someone and also see it. And then people enjoy it. And I have people that travel to my gym to come train with me. It's a good feeling.
That's what's up. You gonna catch a class or what?
No, I got 3 kids. I can't wake up at 5 a.m.
5 p.m. bro.
5 p.m. I don't know. Maybe.
They're pretty good.
I do need some training. My wife also wants to get back into working out, so yeah, maybe.
For health reasons, I crashed my Harley, almost died going 15 miles an hour on a Harley.
Okay.
Broke the whole left side, my elbow, my hand, my leg, my femur in 2 spots. Sorry.
When did that happen?
About 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago.
Oh wow.
So I did a bunch of recovery and I took a fight a year later. I was supposed to not walk for like 10 months. And I said, screw that. And I was walking in, I was limping in 5 weeks. The recovery process was a little faster, but it was just terrible. It was terrible, terrible recovery. I did physical therapy for a long, long time, and there's a bunch of physical therapy part for strengthening muscles. And I was a conditioning specialist. And so then I became a strength trainer after that because I realized even though you're injured, I get clients that just recently this week came in and handed me and Matt a list of injuries. And I literally looked at her and I'm like, do you got a doctor's note to be here? Like, it looks like I'm going to have to just create a whole different workout for you is what you're telling me. You can do anything through strength training. Your muscles, your injuries, they need strength. It might be weak strength, but when people think of strength training, they think it's heavy lifting. And it starts at the bottom, very smallest weight you can possibly grab to the biggest weight. And the time length doesn't matter. So strength training is physical therapy, which is also healthy for anybody. Injured, non-injured.
Yeah, and I saw some of your posts. You were posting people getting personal records, like you were posting the people that you were training.
So when I bring a client and I wait a whole month before, I always ask them a question, and I usually get the same answer every time. What is your PRs? What's your deadlift? And I don't know. So when we do our first PR, I try to get their numbers. Like, don't worry about the number on how heavy you can go, because honestly, the lower the better. It's more growth we can have. I just try to get the best number that I can out of them. And another month later, my goal in that month to retain my clients is to beat that number. Because if they've never beaten a PR before, the feeling is amazing. And the bigger the number, the more amazing it feels. And it works every time.
That's badass.
Yeah,
that's
dope.
badass. And with you sharing so much, have you seen like people? I know I get motivated by your posts. I know a lot of people do.
That.
Yeah. And I feel like that's a way to spread good, right? You're getting people fired up, even if they can't afford to train with you or might not be a member at the camp. They're able to come in and you're giving them that free value to just get hyped up.
I always try to find a way for people to afford my training.
That's cool.
I try to help everybody. I don't do it for money. It's more for passion. Money comes later.
No, that's what's up, man. And with that, we talked about your diet already. Do you have any tips for people just on the baseline that are listening to this right now that kind of want to get into that physique and obviously train?
Well, I have a lot of clients right now that I diet my clients a certain way. And a lot of people can't carb cycle. You can't do the high carbs, especially the low carbs, and still try to maintain and function throughout work and things like that. Fasting, I'm not a big fan of. It's not meant for everybody. Intermediate, anything. It works for some people, not everybody. What most people, and this, I did some culinary school, and I was a cook for a while. I did all kinds of stuff in the kitchen, and I was working in an Italian restaurant. And if you've never worked at one, and you don't know how much salt that they have to put into their pasta, just alone the pasta, it's a gross amount. I was helping my chef, and he's like, more, handfuls. It just got me sick to my stomach. And then I just started noticing all the salt. Like, it was just so much salt in everything. Go look at a vegan protein, the back of it. Look how much sodium is in vegan protein. And then go look at the camps. It is literally 3 times as low.
Wow.
So my thing is, I don't think everybody watches how much salt intake they have. It retains fat, it retains water. And you can replenish it in like berries. There's a lot of sodium, like blueberries. You can do it in a healthier way than just eating pasta and things like that.
That's good to
Just
know.
my
I've
trick,
never,
just my
I've
tip.
never even looked at the salt.
Yeah.
I know people cut like sugar.
Even in like a pre-made sodium or pre-made like protein, look at the sodium, it's like 300 milligrams. That's terrible.
That's a great tip because
look at
I
everything.
never thought of that.
It's terrible. Count your sodium throughout the day and you just realize how much salt you're eating and drinking. And
So-
the reason why everything tastes so good.
So the bad thing with salt is it retains fat, water.
Well, so like I try to explain it like this, like a bodybuilder, like even the day before the prep or the show, they're depleting their body of water, but they'll go and eat a stack of pancakes for carbs because water thickens your skin and they're trying to tighten their skin to their muscles to get it to pop, and the carbs will pop the muscles. So when you're eating a bunch of sodium, yeah, you're no definition, you're bloated, your skin's thick, you're carrying a lot of sodium inside of your skin on top of the carbs you're eating.
I'm about to cut all the salt.
I never even
Yeah,
thought
no
of
more
that.
salt for me. No, because seriously, that's kind of how I feel
That's why
sometimes.
they make like Mrs. Dash, they make no sodium seasoning.
Oh, got
It's
it.
not so much cutting every salt because your body is naturally, you sweat, you produce salt naturally. You don't want to cut it all. So I have actually a sodium diet that I have some clients on, but I only do it for about 3 weeks to 4 weeks and they'll lose 20 pounds. And then I got to change it. I got to adjust them. I got to give it back a little bit and then go back to it again. So I don't just fully blown cuts. So you just be like SpongeBob. It's all
Okay.
dried up.
So like you were saying earlier, when you get in and out, you just ask for no salt.
That's why I watch my sodium.
Got it.
So it's just little things. I don't cut like a bunch of salt. I'll get on a sodium cut, but I just watch the salt intake that I have.
That makes sense.
I'm gonna start doing that in and out. No salt.
Yeah, I'll go to In and Out every day.
You should,
No salt.
if you watch them. I had a few friends that worked there.
Yeah.
If you watch them, how much they do it when they cook,
It's a lot.
try to put that on your mouth.
Yeah.
That'd be gross.
No, just the way you're talking about the Italian restaurant, like
It was so
That's-
gross when he was bowling that.
because I
It
wouldn't eat
was
salt
so
like that.
gross.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
Yeah.
So no, that's cool, man. I had no idea how invested you were in the whole fitness world, in all the different like bodybuilding, the dieting, the training. I knew you trained at the camp. I knew you did MMA, but you're really about this life. Just
Been doing it since high school. I started in basketball at 5. Freshman year, I tried out for the wrestling and basketball at the same time.
same season.
So, and I tried out for both. I actually made JV point guard, which I was like, dude, I'm short. Yes. I was stoked. And I go to the wrestling room and I got varsity wrestling. I'm like, whoa, I got a letter.
Yeah.
But I've been playing basketball my whole life. So I decided to letter in wrestling. And then we got transfers from Western High School. Bunch of Samoans. And you should see the man that took my JV spot. I would have lost it no matter what. So the choice for varsity wrestling was the one.
That's what's up. Do you still ball?
I haven't in a while, but my ex recently, she was a college player. So I did street ball. I really loved Mr. Professor
Nice.
and Hot Sauce. That was
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
my favorite. I was a dribbler because I was short. So that's how I got around everybody.
Dude, that's it.
I can still dribble. I just can't shoot, bro. This muscle
You're
just,
too big.
dude. If you don't constantly shoot, I can still do the dribbles and I still got handles, but I try to shoot a free throw and I'm shooting it over the basket. But oh my god,
That's
give me
how
a
it
bigger
is.
ball.
Yeah, when we trained, when we had our old studio, old office, it was right by 24. So he used to take me and we used to do arms and try to play basketball. It
Nope.
doesn't work. Doesn't work.
That ball's a lot lighter than I thought or I remember. Yeah.
For sure, man. So aside from the fight that you got coming up on the 4th, what's next for you?
Well, I do plan to possibly compete.
Mhm.
The plan was I was gonna try to take a fight in Tulum, Tulum. They have a Muay Thai event where it's like the old school kickboxer with Jean-Claude Van Damme, where they did ropes,
Oh shit.
just
Okay.
minus the glass part. I wanted to fight Thai and rope instead of gloves. It's badass.
Yeah.
It really is. But they're actually moving Tulum to Puerto Vieja, whatever.
Oh, Puerto Vallarta.
Yes,
Okay.
they're moving over there, which is nicer. It's bigger.
Yeah.
But it paused that whole like fight era that I wanted to do. So then I was gonna just replace it with possibly a physique show. So when I don't have like a set time, possibly in the beginning of the year or the end of the year.
Nice, man. And I actually did have one question now that you brought up the rope thing. Would you ever do a bare knuckle fight?
No. I've broken, I don't know if you see scars, but I've broken these hands so many times and it's so easy to break a bone. I'd rather have some kind of protection, a wrap, a glove, a rope. I'd rather put on a sock and bopper and go outside and punch someone. I would not hit someone bare knuckle anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just fragile. I just think I've fought in so much. I don't know how those men do it.
Nuts. Have
They
you seen one
probably
of those?
break their hands.
Yeah.
I would, yes,
crazy.
I would. But because my hands are brittle, no.
Yeah. No, dude, it's nuts. They get rocked.
It is
It's
insane.
like,
Why? I don't know. My brother was going to do it because he's crazy like that. But it didn't work out.
Does your brother still fight?
He recently hung the gloves up. But then he said he was going to take another fight. The fighter never hangs the gloves up. There's always
never retire.
He's too young. He's 2 years older than me. I still say I got 10 years, bro. He's not retired.
Yeah.
He's just, my brother takes really good fights. Like really good fights against really good fighters. Because he's really good. He just kind of has a glass jaw. So he's been losing.
Yeah.
And it gets depressing when you
Mhm.
lose. And he's came short off of a couple belts recently. So he tried to retire and then he's trying to come back.
Yeah.
I think he's going to come back.
That's what's up, man. Come back and get a dub.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I have a random question for you. When we got you on the schedule, Jared over here, he was like, "Oh, we're getting Chris Hansen."
Oh, here we go.
And then I was like, "I don't think it's the Chris Hansen you're thinking of." Has anyone ever said that to you? Like,
So when I first started MMA, I had a Facebook page I had a manager of. And there was a live chat. And my name was a very popular subject. And a lot of people wanted me to change my name to the Predator.
oh, I get it. That's a good one.
Now, there is a fighter named the Predator, but he wears the Predator helmet. But then when you put the Predator into my name, it just did not look the same as that dude over there. And so I was like, I like the originality that I got. There's no one with that name. So yeah, it's been a thing since day one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been dope though, Chris, the Predator Hansen.
Leah was telling me to have a seat. So
Yeah.
That's cool, man. And so where can people find more about what you do?
I usually only have Instagram. That's
Right here.
Yeah. That's my go-to. It's always been my go-to. I don't Facebook. My platform for editing is TikTok, but I don't on TikTok much.
Hell yeah.
It's all Instagram. That's my go-to.
Yeah, us too. Yeah, that's where we're on. So you could check Chris out on Instagram at
Sinister Made Fitness.
Cool,
That's it.
man.
Thank you.
Well, dude, I appreciate you hanging out with us today.
Appreciate the invite, guys.
Yeah, dude, learned a
was
lot
great.
today. I'm cutting salt.
You're about to train
About
for
to
your
get
fight?
lean.
It's
I'm about
just
to, yeah.
It's
So
just a tip.
yeah, I'm gonna cut salt, start talking a lot of shit, and train with this guy and try to get this charity fight. So
Yeah, I'll see you
again,
tonight.
we're waiting on some contracts, 100K.
Got
running.
a title on it too.
Yeah,
I'll make a belt.
there
There
we
you
go.
go.
There we go.
Yeah.
We'll make a
Nice.
belt. We'll make a belt.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. It's been a fire ass week. We appreciate Chris coming on, dropping the value. If you like this episode, please be sure to like, comment, and
Smash the bell, subscribe.
do all the things. Follow Chris on the Insta. And until next time, spread good, baby.